Sure, let's talk about Christine's dress and Think of Me in the 2004 Phantom of the Opera movie. The tragic historical figure it's referencing, and yeah, why I kinda hate it. I'll get to that later. First off, the dress, which is, I will admit, very pretty. As you can see, it is very intentionally a recreation of the dress in this portrait. The 1865 portrait of Empress Elizabeth of Austria by Franz Xaver Winterhalter, painted when she was around 28 years old. Empress Elizabeth, also known as Sisi, was, as some people have pointed out, the Princess Diana of Austria in the 19th century. She was married off to Franz Josef of Austria, who later became the emperor, when she was only 16 years old. She's a very enigmatic and tragic figure, and entire movies and TV shows and podcasts have been made about her. Sisi was smart and romantic and dreamy and really hated life in the Hofburg in Austria. It wasn't great for her. But she was revered as a great beauty, and she became trapped in that idea. She was obsessed with her long hair and maintaining her figure. The extremes she went to maintain her figure in the 19th century we would nowadays call an ED. And she just experienced a lot of tragedy in her life. But suffice to say, she was this beautiful, free-spirited, interesting, intelligent woman who was reduced down to her looks by a lot of society, and eventually by herself. Which gets into why I think this dress is pretty, but I hate how it's used. Because Sisi is an apt metaphor for how Christine's treated in this movie. They reduce this complex character down to aesthetics. And that's the problem with a lot of this movie. They care about making pretty pictures, not any character or story or logic behind them. Yesterday I tried to give them credit for a swan bed, but somebody pointed out this might be an eagle, which means nothing. The choice to use a Sisi dress here is equally as nonsensical, but it is symptomatic. They've chosen to make a superficial tableau here rather than telling a story, both within the movie and within the opera that they're performing. This dress makes no sense. The opera Hannibal is about Hannibal Barca, who invaded Rome with elephants in the 3rd century BC, from Carthage, which is in modern-day Tunisia. In the first Hannibal scene, Carlotta is wearing a dress that's kind of like the one in the show, and nods to these ancient Carthaginian origins. Even though I also hate everything about these costumes for other reasons, mainly this midriff thing, at least they're trying for the ancient Carthage look. Why is she suddenly in a dress from a portrait from 1865? Sure, it creates a pretty picture, but that's all it is. And the way this scene is shot is boring. The vocals and acting don't make up for it. Reducing Christine's first song to a superficial and nonsensical visual is kind of in line with the way Sisi was reduced to her looks. It's an apt metaphor, I guess, but kind of an accidental one. I don't like it. I much prefer the way it's done in the show, where it matches Carlotta's costume, though it is much simpler, so it does create a contrast. That's not the only thing about Think of Me that pisses me off in the movie, but it's the main one. Sisi was so much more than empty visuals, and Christine should be too.